and 1st century CE, the Roman world fed millions, thanks to farming manuals, imperial records, and preserved cities like Pompeii. We reconstruct that diet. What emerges is not constant luxury. It is something simpler and more revealing. The foundation of Roman life was grain. Wheat was grown across Italy and the province, ground into flour and baked into bread. Cato's manual gave instructions for real households. At Pompeii, entire bakeries had been uncovered, with animal-powered millstones, large ovens, and carbonized loaves, still preserved in volcanic ash. One form, known as panis quadratus, survives in dozens of examples. Bread was not an accompaniment. It was daily survival. For many Romans, every meal began with grain. Olive oil was everywhere. Pliny the Elder described its cultivation and production. But oil was more than a cooking ingredient. It lit homes and preserved food. It was used in bathing, scraped from the skin with a strigil in public bathhouses. Olive oil appears constantly in trade evidence because it was consumed constantly in life. It powered kitchens. It powered hygiene. It powered light. Wine was widely consumed across Roman society, but it was rarely drunk. Mixing wine with water was normal practice. Literary references make clear this was Roman habit. Wine functioned as a daily beverage, not merely as an indulgence. Together, grain, oil, and wine formed the structural base of the Roman diet. Luxury meat dishes existed, but they were not everyday food for most people. Legumes were. Lentils, chickpeas, peas, and beans appear in agricultural and encyclopedic writing as standard crops. Archaeological remains from Pompeii and Herculaneum confirm their presence in domestic contexts. These were affordable, filling, and reliable foods. When you strip away the banquet imagery, the Roman diet looks practical and plant-centered. Roman writers refer to 3 meals: ientaculum, a light morning meal; prondium, a midday meal; cena, the principal meal of the day. Breakfast and midday meals were often simple: bread, leftovers, or light foods. The evening meal was more substantial, but for most, it remained centered on staples. Pompeii offers one of the clearest windows into ordinary urban life. Across the city, archaeologists have uncovered thermopolia street food counters with large jars. These establishments stored and served prepared food and drink. Pompeii alone had around 80 such counters. Many urban residents lived in apartments without full kitchens. Buying ready-made food was practical. Roman cities had fast food. One flavor appears repeatedly in Roman sources: a fermented fish sauce, intensely salty and rich. Pliny describes famous varieties and production centers. Amphorae, stamped for fish sauce trade, have been found. For a diet heavy in bread, porridge, and legumes, a powerful seasoning mattered. Garum was not exotic, it was everyday flavor. If we relied only on literature, we might imagine Romans constantly feasting. Petronius' Cena Trimalchionis depicts a spectacular banquet of excess and absurdity, but it is satire. It exaggerates. It mocks luxury. It shows that extravagant dining existed, but not normal life. Archaeology repeatedly brings us back to bakeries, mills, and street counters, not constant extravagance. Rome was one of the largest cities in the ancient world. Feeding it required organization. Imperial records refer to the annona, the system overseeing grain distribution to the urban population. When grain prices rose, unrest followed. Food supply was political. Archaeology reinforces the scale of trade. Monte Testaccio testifies to immense import systems. The Roman diet was not just about cooking. It was about logistics. When we combine agricultural manuals, imperial records, and preserved cities, a coherent picture emerges. Roman daily diet was built on grain, olive oil, wine, legumes, seasonal plants. Street food was common. Elite feasts were exceptional. And flavor came from powerful condiments like garum. It was not constant luxury. It was practical, grain-centered, and remarkably efficient for sustaining one of the greatest cities of the ancient world.